Good morning, welcome to a new update, and today we're going to discuss Ethereum because Ethereum is also on support and is also a very interesting point to look for longs because nobody is interested in buying an asset when it's an actual buy, and nobody is interested in shorting an asset when it's actually not a buy and it's overvalued or maybe heavily overextended to the upside. Nobody is bullish at the low. Nobody is bearish at the top. Welcome to the markets of cryptocurrency, and today we're going to discuss Ethereum, and subscribe beneath if you want to see more of my content as I'm providing daily updates on the markets. So let's get to the chart of Ethereum, and we can see that we are in a critical support zone. And people often say, hey, your TA is shit, blah blah blah. But I've been sharing the TA on Litecoin, Ethereum, many of those altcoins on Twitter, but I tweet a lot, so maybe you've just not seen it. But Ethereum made a bounce off on this critical support zone during the crash. Since then, we do see that we've got this resistance here, which is at 2.9k, and we couldn't really hold on to it. We can see that we've had a small bounce in support from 2.3k, and we've got this breaker here, meaning that is the sideways consolidation before it loses support. And because it lost support at 2.3k, you could see that we've dropped towards the next support zone, which is found around $1,750. So we got there, we got a double bottom retest on Ethereum, and we can see that since then we've also had a nice bounce towards that critical breaker that I just discussed. So you can see that Ethereum came all the way back up towards that previous resistance zone, and I've stated that it's a critical breaker on the USD pair for continuation. But as you can see, we were not able to do so, and it got all the way back towards support at the critical support zone here to sustain there for momentum. And it reminds me a lot of the period that we had after the crash last year in September, in which you can see pretty much the same as what we're currently doing with an additional test, but it's pretty much the same. You can see that we've got this breaker to the upside. You see that we break all the way back down. We test this level for support. So we've got a breaker here, we test it for support, make a bounce back up and reject the breaker that we have here, right? So we reject this breaker, which is similar to the bounce that we had to $2,400 and reject. Since then, you can see that we've had a retest of the low once again, and consolidation continued. So a retest of the low happens, bounce back up, another test around the breaker, or actually the previous support, consolidation, higher low, higher high, higher low, and we start to continue moving and flipping every critical level as support, as this previous breaker is also becoming support, and continuation happens here. Very similar to the structure that we have right now, given the fact that Ethereum is on a weekly support order block that I do not expect to lose in one go. Next to that, we are also in support here, through which it's very much remarkable that the structure starts to look the same, as in which we are seeing that we're currently bouncing from the lows. So what can we expect from this view on Ethereum? Well, I would not be surprised if we're actually going to copy paste the structure that we did previously, in which we make a rally towards 2.1k, maybe even 2.4k, and then make a higher low based on the levels that we have here. So probably we'll be making a higher low at the range of 1965 to flip this previous level here. After which we continue the momentum towards the next level and start flipping all those levels that we discussed. So I would not be surprised in such a scenario, given that Ethereum also had very harsh corrections in 2016 and 2017. So even in those 2 years, which were the bull cycle for Bitcoin, and I also truly believe that we are in a lengthening cycle of, currently, in which the cycle will take longer than the previous ones, in which the halving effect will start to take a minimal role or a smaller role than it has been doing in the past cycles, through which we could be in a phase where Ethereum is actually at a massive support. And you should realize that Currently the mindset is ultra bearish, but everybody was interested in Ethereum at 3.5k. Now Ethereum is down 55% from the highs, maybe even 60, and you are waiting for an opportunity to buy it at 1k or 1.4, which is completely fine. But why wouldn't you want to look at positions at this stage when the market is down so much and when it's in actual support levels? And not only Ethereum is in support levels, you can also see it on Litecoin. Litecoin came all the way back towards the same levels here, and it shows a very similar structure as Ethereum has been doing, in which we can see that we've had a bounce towards this support zone. We got a bounce back up, lost support, so this block became a breaker before we started to move south, and actually this one has to belong here. Since then we've got another bounce back up, reject there, and retest the low right now. So what you want to see for Litecoin is very similar to what you want to see on Ethereum. If Litecoin breaks $118, you can easily start overshooting this towards 150 and potentially even a wick towards 165. And then it rejects another low, and we can actually start making a new trend to the upside, which is very comparable to the structure that I just discussed on Ethereum against USDT after that run last year. What do we see on Ethereum against Bitcoin? It's still green since the crash. And we can also see that we are currently in a new trend, which is lower highs, lower lows. But if any of these critical breakers, which is at 0.68, breaks, new trend continues, bull market. If this block around 0.55 or 0.58 is going to hold, it's still a very interesting point for Ethereum to start longing. But if we look at Ethereum against USDT, it looks very likely that we're going to continue moving to the upside, given the fact that we are still in support here. That's my update for today. I'll see you again tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day.